She stopped working out after having a baby? That's so weird. We all have the same 24 hours. Oh wow, she's breastfeeding a toddler and he has teeth? I think she quit her job actually to be a stay-at-home mom. I could never. I will never let a baby change my life. It will just fit seamlessly into mine. I think we need to talk. You know the saying, the best parents are those who don't have kids yet? Yeah, I was definitely one of them. I knew exactly what kind of mom I was going to be. And then I had a baby. And let's just say, I owe a lot of moms a big fat apology. So here are the 5 things that I swore I'd never do and yet did every single one of them. Number 3 is really controversial, but I'm still fully admitting to it. But let's start at the beginning. I swore that having a baby will not change my life whatsoever. And I will just continue on with all my hobbies, everything I was doing, just toss that baby into the car and go about my merry life. However, unfortunately, this is not how it works. I'm convinced this is one of the biggest lies of parenthood. First of all, you literally just popped out an entire human being. Your life is meant to change. Secondly, some hobbies are literally impossible to do around your baby. You may need to adjust them or even abandon them altogether until the baby is older. And it's also the sheer logistics of including baby into certain events of your life. Theoretically, it might be possible, but you may be dealt one that hates being in the car and screams non-stop, doesn't want to sleep in a pram, etc. This is the opposite of your life not changing. Number 2 is closely related to this girl boss energy. I used to say I will never quit my job to take care of my baby for a prolonged period of time, that I will just pop them in daycare once this option is available, which is usually about 6 weeks, just get me some pumps, drive to work, and keep on building my career. However, your priorities do change. While it's true that yes, some days staying at home with your baby can drive you absolutely nuts and it's really hard work, it's very unlikely for a mother to be comfortable with no outside influence such as needing an extra income, etc., to leave baby that young in someone else's care and go about professional life with no worry in the world. And while I don't doubt that there are people who genuinely want that, I quit my corporate career first day back from my parental leave with my first baby, which was when he was about 6 or 7 months old. And since then, I've basically just been freelancing to fit around now 2 babies. It's been a hard adjustment financially, and not everyone will even be able to make this adjustment to start with. However, I feel much happier at this stage of life doing so. And I think it's important to acknowledge that this mindset shift may happen to you. I promised you a controversial one, and here it is. Before having my babies, I swore I'd never co-sleep, because bed sharing is a practice that is widely demonized in Western cultures, even though it's completely normal in many parts of the world, and there are lots of ways to do it that provide excellent risk reduction. You may just be hit with the reality that your baby, not at all biologically wired for cribs and cots and bassinets, will not go to sleep that way. And this is in fact why most people start researching co-sleeping. Regardless of what your current opinion on this is, my biggest advice to you would be to research safe sleep guidelines and just prepare your space, because most horrible accidents happen not because of co-sleeping as such, but because of co-sleeping in unsafe spaces. Another thing that I used to secretly judge other moms for, that I now have been doing myself for 3 years, is extended breastfeeding. I have fully internalized those stereotypes like, oh, when they can ask for it, they don't need it anymore, or when they have their teeth, they don't need it anymore, or like after 12 months of breastfeeding, it loses all its good properties for mom and baby and therefore is completely unnecessary, and that moms are doing it for themselves, whatever that means. However, if we look at the actual biological practices, you may be very surprised to know that if you do nothing about weaning, the natural age for it lies somewhere between 2 and 7. Yes, 7 years old. And this really helped me put what is called extended nursing in Western societies into perspective and just keep responding to my child's needs without worrying about anyone else's judgment. And something else that I'm definitely not prioritizing, even now, 3 years into parenthood, is bouncing back. Because if we think about it, there is no back to be bouncing to. Life really changes after having a baby, and it's this wild idea that we're supposed to be putting wild amounts of energy into becoming as close to our previous selves as possible. I think it actually pulls us so far back in life. And this is coming from someone who worked in the fitness industry, who used to religiously get up at unholy hours of the morning to go to the gym, who was fully consumed by that culture, and who thought that not looking put together by societal standards somehow makes you lazy, somehow means that you let yourself go, etc. However, having had kids and knowing just how much work keeping them alive is, I see all this stuff completely differently. Like, obviously you want to take care of your body. Obviously you want to stay healthy, because this is a very important part of life. However, it doesn't have to look like what you see from Instagram influencers. It can look like going for a walk every day or throwing in a quick movement session as opposed to spending hours at the gym. It can look like wearing clean clothes as opposed to trying to compile a fully put together outfit with, super coordinated jewelry, shoes, handbags, etc. This may just not be practical. And while I used to secretly judge moms in bike shorts and Crocs, now I actually think they don't have time for this crap. They're just living their best life without looking back at anyone else's opinion. And I personally think it's absolutely beautiful in its own unique way. I absolutely get why you may think those things and why I thought them before. It's easy to assume that parenting is about trying harder until you understand that parenting is about surviving and adapting and finding your new thriving mode in that. And after you have kids, you suddenly realize that every single parent is just figuring it out as they go. There is no universal playbook. And if something works and keeps everyone happy and sane, then it's the right choice for that family, even though it may not be the right choice for yours. If you are yourself a mom who has done a 180 on something that you used to judge the heck out of, welcome to the club. And if you're watching and thinking,
no, I would never do that,
I'll see you in a few years. Parents, you've got this, and you're probably a much better parent than you think you are. And if you watch this next video, I will absolutely prove it to you.